I'll be calling you a radical. I want to give a shout out to all my Million Masks marching brothers and sisters. We are family that are in Philly right now marching. We didn't march in D.C. It's the first year I haven't marched in D.C. since. We've got a lot going behind the scenes, whatever. And I want to say, God, I just got sent this. It made me cry. So Tech Nine, the famous musician, did a great piece and put it out today on Million Mass March on Anonymous. I'm all over in his video. It made me cry. His mother passed, you know, and I think that's a lot of the people that are in the Million and Anonymous, you know, that's why we're so impassioned, because we are wounded. I mean, when my dad died, I mean, so he did this beautiful piece, We Won't Go Quietly, and he did a radio interview and he says he's one of us now. You know, he's anonymous, and he did this dissertation on the light, on the energy and the strength, who we are and what we are. I'm like, this guy gets it. Amen, amen, amen. You know, so we won't go quietly. We are family. We won't go quietly. We're black, white, wrong, right. We're about peace. We hate war. We hate injustice. We hate the tragedies of cancer. You know, these environmental poisoners. You know, he says in his song, we can't even let a tree freaking grow. It's a beautiful piece. I'm going to tag it in there. So to all my Million Mass marching brothers and sisters, love you. We won't go quietly. Boy, isn't that the truth? We're not going to go quietly, because we are family. So back to this murder in Texas. And this is important. So right here at this library, Hoffman did his work. I used to talk to him here. And so many of these infamous crimes here. This is the LeBaron family. This is the LeBaron family. Now, anybody that reports this is a random cartel murder, which KUTV was here yesterday and reported this kid who's got this so-called racist professor blogging about, and they didn't. I says, please, even if he is racist, it's legal. Number one, which he's not. I don't think he is. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I really don't give a shit. But that's what you're reporting. You know, when there's all these issues on this campus, all these issues to tackle. So I told him, I said, why aren't you reporting this murder as who they are? They're LeBarons. The LeBarons and the Allreds are from here. You know, I've been involved with them my whole life. And if you don't think the Mormons cover for these people, just remember, Warren Jeffs, it's the same type of mentality. Warren Jeffs' conviction in Utah, remember he was in prison in Utah, was overturned by the Utah. People don't know that. Overturned by the Utah Supreme Court. By the way, Mike Lee's brother on that court. And tried to block extradition. People knew what he was for years here. I mean, these criminal factions, this is what radical religion does. So people are talking all over, well, this is a cartel. Well, who do you think the Romney family, the LeBaron, the Allreds, the Church? So the prophet, you know, what they were, one declared himself the prophet, fundamentalist Mormon. Now remember, this is important. The Mormons here, when they got here, including my family, you know, I go all the way back. I'm Mike Parter's descendant. I'm Abraham Hunsaker, the fourth grandson himself, from the first all the way back, deep roots. This is important. They came out here to get away from the United States. They hated the fucking United States with a passion. Even when I was a kid. It was so fucking contemporized. Talk about, you don't even know flag burners. These people, Utah, hated the fucking United States with a passion. They had their own currency. You know, they held out ZCMI, their own merchants, their own gig, all of it. Now they're all flag waving. I mean, it's nuts. So these factions broke off from the traditional fundamentalist Mormon, which practiced polygamy, but, you know, their own, you know. This was the forgery capital of the world. Mark Hoffman used to have a key to special collections right there. And if you don't know who Mark Hoffman is, you know, he committed murders, you know, when they caught him. He's in jail with the Lafferty brothers. And this is important because the Lafferty brothers, again, spiritual claim they were prophet, murders. So this, remember these people that poisoned and killed their whole family in southern Utah last year or the year before? Guess who they'd been visiting in prison on death row, or not on death row? One of the Lafferty brothers, who's the cellmate of Mark Hoffman. So all roads lead here to Ogden. So these factions, one declared himself, I used to know Allred, you know, the LeBarons. She wrote the book. She did a lecture right here at Chernoff, and you know, people were telling her, you're going to go to prison. There's no statute of limitations on this. Ask the FBI, 10 most wanted. So if you think this murder there I mean, it ties into the Million Mass March so much because we, you know, Anonymous, we're about justice. We don't forgive and we don't forget. I mean, come on, you're killing kids now. You're killing fucking women, kids, but come on. It's like the Romney, it's irony that Mitt Romney makes a statement. The Romney family are Northern Mexico. They are the drug cartel. People say, well, don't you think this was drug cartel? Who do you think the fucking, you know, these people are? How do you think they exist in Northern Mexico? You ever seen their places? You got to see the fucking ranches and the places they live. Dual citizenship? Who gets fucking dual citizenship? Ha, please, you know, these people fucking will power, fucking, and they kill each other. Remember the murders in the mall? I mean, these are 10 most wanted people, you know, these families, this has reached a new fucking low. A new low. They have reached a new low. Now they're killing women and children. It was not a random accident. That's what I told them. And you're going to report, Utah's going to report this as a random accident? Please, please. These people have been killing each other. These families have been killing each other for fucking decades. I mean, I was with one of the All-Red girls for a long time, me and her. I mean, I grew up right by him. I grew up in that community out there in West Weber and right here. They lived all over right there. I mean, whoa. You ain't seen fucking Radical. You don't fucking know Radical. You think I'm Radical? Fuck. So, people say, well, it was a drug cartel. Well, who the fuck do you think the drug cartel is? You don't think the LeBarons, you know, the Allreds, and the Romneys, Northern Mexico? Who do you think these fucking people are? Whoa. That's Bush and well, I mean, Bush and Reagan, you know, they know. Let's go across from here. So many of these people are from here, right here. So, thank you to Tech Night. I'll tag the video. I think there's some great footage of me, all of us in there. Made me cry. It made me cry. We just want justice. We just want what's right. What you stole from us and thieved from us, this, you know, American fucking government, you know, Utah government. Utah's corrupt as fucking hell. How can you report this as random? Look who these people are. They're LeBarons. And if you don't believe me, you go talk to the FBI. We used to have this historic criminal justice department here. Dr. Gillespie used to fucking teach here. You know, so, you know, and they report this with this kid here. And even if this professor was, you know, racist, so what? It's legal. You know, he's a debate professor, for God. He's trying to bait you. And so this is what you want to see. Clickbait, bet. So, to all my brothers and sisters in Philly right now, in London, all over the world, you know, I wasn't able to march in D.C. this year, and that was tactical by me. I know what I'm doing. I got some irons in the fire here. I got some stuff fighting, and you'll be seeing more and more. You know, we don't go quietly. We don't go fucking quietly, because that's how we end up, like these people, you know. Sick. You know, if, like I said, you don't think Utah's corrupt, and they don't... I mean... Just remember, they overturned Warren Jeff's conviction here. Whoa. I could write 10 books on the moral crimes right here at this library, the famous infamous Sterling Library. Howard Hughes' will was forged right there. I knew Melvin Dumas. You know, I go on and on and on and on. D.B. Cooper. Oh yeah, right here, RCT, that's unarguable. You know, I go on and on and on and on. You know, the people, Edward Abbey did his work in here, Fama K. Brody, DeMar Devoto, fucking... Whoa. So, thank you for the beautiful piece. And his interview was powerful. I'm so sorry about your mom. I hope it gets to you. You know, it made me cry, because I know what it is. I remember when I lost my dad. You know, I'm a 1% cancer, and that's so much of this, the Million Mass March, and the loss of Aaron Swartz, loss of so many. And remember Sarah, who's one of the original founders of the Million Mass March. I'll try to put up the beautiful drawing she did. That cartoon drawing that I posted, she drew that. She drew that. You know, she's dead. She died last year. So, I don't know. I guess we're a bunch of wounded souls that don't go quietly. I call us retreaded beatniks. Recycled beatniks. But his interview about the light and the spirit, I'm a 1% survivor. These wounds are deep, you know, and so, random. It's not random. Ask the FBI. Not random. They've reached a new fucking low. remember again, fundamentalist Mormons, when they got here in 1848, they came here because this was Mexico. They never honored the treaties. It was called Brownsville. I mean, Captain Brown was a crook, and remember they seized their temples and put them in the prisons in Sugar House. I mean, when I was a kid, all the counterfeit rings were here. They had their own currency, their own media, their own anything. I mean, the whole Western United States and the feds were scared of them. I mean, and so when these people broke off from here, when Utah got on their knees for the feds, and now they're flag wavers, they just carried on the traditions, and so they're like, you ain't, you know, these Mormons anymore, the true believers. I am. So one of them claimed he was the prophet, Urban LeBaron. The other, Allred, claimed he was the prophet. And so they were written into, you know, Joseph Smith's doctrine. You know, the Mormons have what they call avenging angels, which, by the way, Joseph Smith, they used to tie into the prophet Abraham's. A lot of the teachings, it was eclectic. He claimed the Muslims as his brothers. Joseph Smith said that all the time, and the early Mormons were very much like the Muslim culture. You know, and so these are radical factions. And they believe they're doing these murders in the name of God. And they do. They believe it. You know, and this has gone on and on. I could write books on these. Remember on the Shiloh Inn when they threw everybody off the top? You know, I can go on and on and on and on about these freaking God told me to do it here. They believe they're doing the right thing. I mean, and this has been going on. They've been killing each other for centuries. I mean, holy cow. So, we don't go quietly. We are family. Fight on, brothers. I like it here in Philly. See you at the Peace Vigil in D.C. soon.